indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much for joining me here again. To spend a few moments of just recognizing that we are enough. That you are enough. It's almost a joke that I have to go and stand up and get some of my stuff right now. Juxtapositioning me on this whole point of being enough. Just casual, like strolling through the yard. Nothing to see here, no. You are enough, dear friend. You are enough. Believe it, at least for a moment. You deserve that. Seriously. Actually, seriously. I'll be back in a second. Not that I'm not enough. Gateway! How was your road trip, friend? Am I time traveling right now? Did you already tell me how your road trip was? Are you back home? How are you? No, your road trip is still to come. Man, what is time even gateway process? Seems like I'm going through gateways right now. Having a hard time. I'll be back in a second though. I'm gonna go get my bottle of water, go get my freaking bong, get some marriage awareness, get books of things worth saying. I'm on the trip. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Obviously. I knew that totally. You're on and that's why I completely It's a new moon today. That makes sense. That makes sense. There has been some crazy energies. Joy V is joining us as well. So nice to see you, friend. So much love to you. I'm happy that you're traveling. I'm happy that you're on the trip. I'm hoping that you're not doing it completely alone. I don't know if I asked, but are you doing it alone? Can you actually like take breaks with someone driving with you? Can't stay for the stream, but I wanted to say send you all positive vibes. I'm happy that I stayed for a moment longer so I can see Lane's energies being sent to us right now. And we'll continue to take these energies into the space with us. Not that we were not enough without Lane, but now we are even more enough having had Lane. Yeah? No? I'll be back in a second. Love you, friends. Having enough, being enough, seeing enough, giving enough, learning enough, showing up enough, working enough, finishing enough, loving enough. Do you believe that you are enough? Hmm? Is it bad not to believe you're not enough? Is it bad to believe you are enough? What do you think, Miari? Huh? Miari Sovinis? Sovinis Miari Miari Meows? What do you think? Right? Like, and I feel the reason I'm asking this question today is because I have a dad who is particularly against my philosophy. Me telling you that you're enough is somehow me robbing you of something, robbing you of the drive to be more. Telling you that you're enough. Suddenly all of this drive you had to be more than just enough. Robbed from you, stolen, sucked out of your soul or something. But no, no. I know we're talking about being enough, acknowledging ourselves as enough, just from this context of not being told that in the world. On an unironic, serious note, how often does the world tell you that you're enough? Especially from this perspective of people that feel that they are enough, that they have enough, don't particularly buy things. So it's very much against your economic well wishes to tell people that they are enough. So I'm here to tell you, you are enough. Dear friend, you don't need jack shit. Becoming aware of your cosmic being. And that becomes, whoa, you see, this one is a little bit much. So straight off the gate. Become aware. So within this enough topic, I feel like there could not be a better thing worth saying. Become aware of your cosmic, and I think beingness may be a better word. Become aware of your cosmic beingness, and that becomes your identity. Huh? How about that? Yeah, the way of awakening is the most delightful use of time. We could have used that one yesterday. Become completely aware of the magic all around you and your ability to influence that flow. For you are free in this moment. You are as free as you'll ever be right here in this moment. Become aware of your cosmic beingness, and that will become your identity. How can you not be enough if you are aware of your cosmic beingness? In other words, within the cosmos, within the entire infinite universe, there is the beingness that is you. Literally, the beingness that is you. And to kind of acknowledge that that beingness, in and of itself, is enough. That you are enough as you are, who you are, where you are, with what it is you're doing, with what it is you're trying to do, you are enough. And it's not stating you are enough from this perspective of trying to discourage you from realizing your dreams, making more money, if that is your directive, you know, becoming more popular, if that is what you want. But more so, again, from stating extremes so that we can find balance within self. What does hearing the words, you are enough, make you feel? Does it bring up questions, stories of, no, this and this and this is why I'm not enough? Or does it bring a story up of like, yes, I am in fact enough because I do so and so and so and so, right? And then just acknowledging, really being with those things, kind of feeling for yourself why it is you're feeling in certain ways or others. Noticing how you can change that. Noticing your cosmic beingness. Damn. Damn. Sylvina joining us as well. Even Saina. Just me alone. One day. Gateway process. Oh, what's the word? Uh, when you give the little stick when someone's running. Medley? No. No, 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 no. Is it medley? No. No? Mm, pass the baton. Yes. One day. Gateway process. I will go on a road trip with you, and you can pass the baton of having to drive to me. She's driving for 7 hours, so she's probably like almost at the end of her journey right now. I hope you're staying safe. Hope you're not too tired, beloved friend. Sena, it's nice to see you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Savina joining us on the YouTube as well. I'll send some pics in the Discord later. The concert was good. Gerard Way is a great performer. He was in a dad mode, wearing a baseball cap, tube sock, and short shorts. It was hot. Mm. I see what you're seeing, but only in part. Because to me, it would just be like, yes, man. And to you, it's like, yes, man. Yes, I love it. Thank you for sharing that with me, Gateway Process. Melty, you are more than enough, as you are as well. Sylvina, as you are as well. It's not something that I'm doubting. It's more something that I feel is important for us all to hear today. Just to acknowledge that we're enough. Like, and I had it in my mind as we were coming into the stream that I'm going to almost just make the statement that you are enough and just spend time breathing. Maybe we'll still do that, you know. That today's stream doesn't have to be informational from this perspective of watching so that we can stay up to date or that we can remember something. Technically, we are just remembering that we are enough, but to just breathe of that. You are enough. Like, repeat it to yourself. I am enough. I am enough as I am. I am beautiful as I am. I am precious as I am. I'm blessed. I'm gifted. I'm generous. I'm kind. Enough. There's a sense of stability almost that arises from those acknowledgments. Are you willing to acknowledge these things about yourself? It's called the baton. Thank you, Saida. I appreciate you letting me know as well, friend. I would love to see these peaks, Gateway. Can't even imagine Gerald Way dressed this way. I unfortunately do not know the artist. I'm guessing that's the artist that you knew. Nope. Nope, it's not. Gerald Way is My Chemical Romance's lead singer. But, and I'm only now, for some reason, only now this information is coming to me, Gateway Goblin. The fact that they broke up and that Garrett Way was like a standalone artist. Is he still doing that or no longer doing that? Or is he completely back with My Chemical Romance? Or is he doing both right now? I drove the 7 hours straight there from work to get in the concert on time. I will head back home soon. There's some cool caves in Virginia that I want to visit today. Yeah, Gateway Goblin, after being in the music scene, people all around you drinking. She like goes from that to being in caves. Like, if that isn't the most Gateway Goblin thing you've ever heard in your life, I don't know. Oh, it makes me happy. Being enough. Taking yourself and going and seeing caves. Knowing that you are, in fact, enough. Ah, Hermes Blur. That's some nice Hermes Blur right there. Added some Hermes Blur to my bong as well. Part of me doesn't want to words. Just wants to be enough. You know? I don't know if that would be riveting content. But it might be important for us all to acknowledge just for a moment. And like what I'm doing right now is I'm almost doing this like scan of different facets of my life, scan of my physical progress I've made of my weight loss and fitness journey, and then scanning over my food choices and scanning over the relationship I have with each one of my family members, scanning over the relationship I have with my puppies, scanning over the relationship I have with my environment. And just every single time I kind of pay attention to all the facets that there are to pay attention to, just to come back to this acknowledgement that in this, I am enough. Where are you, Redditor? Speak up. Can't be the only one here. Savina, even if you were the only one here, it would be enough. Because you, in fact, Savina, drum roll please, are enough. You're enough. Like, maybe that's the way it needs to be even today. Maybe it's only you commenting on the Reddit today. Again, just acknowledging we are enough. That you are enough even without saying a single word. I feel like this is one of those things that's gonna pull me deeper and deeper the more I think about it. I am Reddit. Sovina suddenly turns into the singularity herself. Naomi, so nice to have you here with me. So much love to you, friend. Baton is such a strange word. Used to describe small lengths of bread, a tube that is passed in a relay race from one member to another, and a tool for police to break things. You can pass the baton so that I can baton this person who stole my batons. Yes. Yes. He's back. Okay, awesome. With My Chemical Romance. I think they were just in a hiatus. Never broke up. Gateway process. Thank you for educating me. I appreciate it. And more than that, even, I'm happy that you actually got to see them as a band. Like there's this unfortunate side effect of living in Africa, where people are like, we're gonna do a world tour, and then Africa is just not in the world, and I'm like, oh, sick. We don't get to see many live artists. The only live artists that I've seen that I listened to actually were psytrance artists, which is a little bit of a different vibe, weirdly enough. Like the way you communicate to a psytrance artist that you know and love their music is just by dancing versus the way that you would communicate to, for instance, and then this is bias, obviously, but the way that you would communicate to My Chemical Romance, that you're a big fan of them, is to know the words and sing along as they're singing, right? At least that's the way that I'm interpreting in this moment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the other side of the track will look like. I have been accused of being a part of the system before now. Yes, Savina. System failure. Someone else entered the chat. Woo! No more just Sovina being the whole of Reddit. Rambler suddenly shares the brunt of being the entire Reddit. You're not alone, but you are enough. Mm. As are you, brother Rambler. Thank you for the reminder. There's like lavender bush growing 2, maybe 3 meters from my face. It smells amazing. So with that lavender calming down my central nervous system, Brother Rambler reminding me again that I'm enough. Myself reminding me that I'm enough. Being short heighted is a curse. Yeah, kind of sucks ass, dude. That people create so much tension around how many centimeters off the planet's surface you stand. Especially since it doesn't really matter, dude. Not only does it not matter, but it's inconceivable. It's inconceivable. Because on a person to person level, if someone is taller than you can look up to them, right? But on the planetary level, we're all pretty much the same length. And there's no separation in that either. And the fact that we have like people, let's say people, we have people literally discriminating against other people based on how tall they are. Not like you can do something about how tall you are. Like, sure, I can wear lifts if I want to, but I'm kind of strapped with this genetic imprint and it made me as tall as I am. And then my mind goes to stuff like downsizing. There's this movie where scientists basically figure out how to collapse the empty space within atoms, shrinking the original object like up to 150 times, creating like these few inch tall human beings, and then all of the resources you gathered as a big human being was relative to the amount of resources you would consume as this big human being. So being a small human being kind of had the added benefit of increasing the amount of value, wealth that you had in your life. And it is just this genuine kind of interpretation of how we as human beings would rather scale our bodies down than scale our living habits down. You know, the things that we think we need, the things we believe we need in order to be comfortable. Like, you don't need a 6 bedroom house in order to be comfortable, you know? But if you make yourself this big, you can get yourself a 6 bedroom house pretty easily. And it wouldn't be that much more of an inconvenience financially to get a different house. And then we create these narratives again of like, okay, if I had this thing, if I had this tool, if I had X amount of rooms, etc., 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 then I would be enough. Then I would be enough, you know. Then I would have this sense of deep fulfillment. Starts right now, regardless of your height, even, friend. Feeling like you are enough. Like, I can't make it better. And I understand how difficult it could be, must be, you know. And it's actually something, weirdly enough, that I've had fights with my sister about, where my sister is 172, so she is above, well above the female average height, right? And then we have conversations about, you know, ideal partners, something like that. And the very first thing that she mentions isn't, you know, character of will, isn't personality, isn't, you know, values. The first thing she mentions is his height. Yeah, you know, my boyfriend has to be this tall. And the first time, well, like, she's done it a few times at this point, but one of the first times she did it, it was with me and my younger brother. And we're not short, you know, like, I'm 178 centimeters. The last time that I measured myself. Might be a little bit taller at this point, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm at that height where I cannot be considered short, which is nice. You know, I didn't do anything for it. I didn't work hard in order to be tall enough. Right? There's nothing that I could have done to change that or not change it. And the first thing me and my brother do when my sister says this, that her ideal partner has to be tall, is we're like, don't say stuff like that, you know? And I was basically sharing from this perspective where so many men in our society right now have this deep sense of belittlement, not being enough because of something as arbitrary as their height, you know, and how just talking about something like that, like in a conversation about what your ideal partner is, saying one of the first things your ideal partner has to be is tall, it instantly creates this narrative within every single mind that is going to be receptive to that message, that you can literally be anything, do anything, grow as much as you want to as a person. The very first stick with which people are going to measure you is an actual measuring stick. You know, and that is, oh, it's gut wrenching, friend. I do believe that the future and the society we're heading into, that norm will change, but it is going to take some time. And it's going to take some awareness as well. You're fine, dear friend. You're fine. And just to like close this point, after I kind of made the point from a broad spectrum, pay attention to the things you say, because even though you might not say it from a place of maliciousness, if you're saying things like that in the vicinity of someone who might be below average in length, it is an extreme devastation to his heart and soul to hear words like that coming out of anybody's mouth. And then my brother told me about a story where he went on vacation with a bunch of friends, and one of these friends, he wasn't even that short. He was just shorter than the rest of them. And one of the girls that was on the party with them mentioned it. And the dude was devastated. And we can go into the whole topic of you shouldn't be that insecure, yada 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 yada. But these things do affect us. these things do make people feel less than, and it doesn't make you any less. Nothing can make you less. Literally, you can lose every single one of your limbs and you will still be the infinite presence. You might not be as mobile, you might not be as capable of creating things, but you won't be any less capable of creating this infinite experience. We're worth so much more, friend. You are so loved. You're going to be so fine. You're going to find someone who is going to look straight past your height and straight into your eyes. And that's going to be the thing, friend. That's going to be what you want to see. The contemplation stream is good to melt. Thank you, Shan. I'm feeling good, friend. I'm letting whatever comes come. Whatever is necessary in the moment, right? Huge news on my end. Life has been chaotic in a good way. I found out on Wednesday I have been accepted to college. As a late acceptance for this year, I thought it wouldn't be until next year. Naomi has manifested herself into tertiary. Apparently, I need it as well. Tertiary educations. Yes. It's not coming to my mind. Yes, education is important, but big biceps is importanter. Importanter. So much more importanter. Love to you, Naomi. What are you going to study, friend? Do let us know. So much love to you. We're so proud of you. Thank you for building on yourself, for growing the skills within self, for getting the stuff nobody can take away from you. I know exactly what you mean. It took me years to learn how to love and accept myself and tell myself that I am enough for me every day. And since meditating, I feel a lot closer, accepting myself and others. Sena, me too. I got to spend 30 minutes meditating today, like properly meditating today. And like my meditations always start super loud, if that makes any sense, like internally loud. And then it's almost like I slowly but surely, as I get deeper and deeper into the meditation, I resolve all of that noise. And then eventually I kind of find a space of just beingness. And the amount of realization, especially in this context of being enough, that comes from that. You'll literally watch your experience melt into itself. You can close your eyes and have all of the sounds melt into a singular, unified experience. This little fly is in my face is like asking for a death sentence. Please, little friend, save yourself. Even in that, you're enough. Thank you, Zaina. Meditate, friends. Meditate. You realize in that space that you're enough. That there doesn't have to be anything else, that everything, literally everything, is extra. Everything is extra. That you are where it comes from. I opened my personal book of quotes, prayers, meditations, etc. Today's random page is Would You Say It Twice? Yeah. Mm. Mm. Feeling it like deep in my heart. It's like, I don't know if it's punching my heart. It's more like boisterously nudging my heart. Yes. Yes. Would you say it twice? For me, I have the same thing worth saying in my mind that goes, only say things that you want people to believe, right? But I feel yours is more concise and to the point. Would you say it twice? Hmm? Especially, right? Maybe even pairing it with this idea of saying things you only want people to believe. If you say things you want people to believe, and it's crazy that that's the one you pulled today as well, because I had this moment today thinking about the context of fights starting when people say things. They'll say something, and then the other person is like, "The fuck did you just say?" And then they'll either say it again and have their ass beat, or they would backtrack and not say it again. And just Gateway Goblin, thank you for sharing that with us, friend. Would you say it twice? Would you say it twice? Is enough one? Is once enough? Or should it not be said at all? So many fractals to explore there. Thank you. Who Needs Tears is here as well. I feel a little funky today. I had some weird dreams last night, and this week in general leave me feeling heavy and tired. Relating relates to the stream of being enough. The dreams leave me feeling like I'm not enough. It's so bizarre. Thanks, Gateway. Thank you, friend. Thank you for being here and sharing some of that depth, friend. Showing up every single day as an opportunity for serendipity, right? How about that? How about that? Who Needs Tears? How, like, seriously, like, how about that? The fact that you've been having these dreams of not feeling enough, and then just, from the universe comes this message to all of us of, hey, hey, I see. How about you're enough? Take a sip of water. Feel a sense of ease just for a moment. Like, seriously, you deserve it. To calm down. I'll leave you with this. It's time to continue on my journey. Hope you all have a present day. Thank you, Gateway. Sending you love, friend. It's nice to see you. It's nice to have you here. I hate repeating myself. It's a new moon today. Who needs tears? I've been in an extra funky funk as well, and I don't think it's just because of my current situation in life. I've also been in this funky funk you friends are talking about. It has just been feeling like extreme lethargy, like a heaviness, a difficulty in moving, a sense of lack, even sometimes. In I don't have the information I think I need, or somehow or another, I'm not enough. So maybe this is what we need to be reminded of, especially in the context of these things that we feel sometimes. Getting better at feeling instead of just being preoccupied with feeling better, right? We got this, Shannon. Savina saying system failure. Miss Molly is joining us as well. I'm so sorry for taking so long to get to your friends' comments. Miss Molly, if you're not here, sending you love into the infinity. It's nice to have you, for a moment. I'm enough. Why do you feel you are not? I do not feel that I'm not. I feel it's important for us to remind ourselves that we are enough. The ways, if I have at all felt like I'm not enough, is just with the amount I could be doing and with the level of tiredness I have been feeling. You know, I've been feeling pretty taxed. But at the same time, I've also had this want to do even more. But I'm kind of like looking at it from this perspective of is doing more going to make me feel less taxed or more taxed? And it's almost like I'm scared of the answer. And I'm like pretending not to know the things we already know. You know, we are all enough, and each moment is enough. I love it. Love you, Mojo. Thank you for tuning in with the truth, friend. If it feels like a truth to you, that is your truth. That a pen in a fire, those taller than you are going to choke out on the smoke before you. Everything has its advantages and disadvantages. Being taller or being shorter from a perspective of resources as well. If you're a guy, for example, and you are shorter, you literally now almost have like a surefire way to have shorter muscles. In other words, stronger muscles, relative to the access it has to move in. And then on top of all of that, also more like bulgy, bigger looking muscles because you're shorter. So, let's say some benefits, advantages, and disadvantages of everything. All we can do is make the most of who and what we are. It's almost like your DNA has like this entire blueprint of the infinity that you can be. And all you have to do is explore into that infinity, melt into it. That makes sense, Shan. Explains a lot, by the way, to be honest. Thank you for feeling, friend. Thank you for feeling. Thank you for being present with these feelings, and thank you for still showing up for them, even when you've been feeling a little bit funky. That's the most important part. Bro, I always feel better after watching your stream. Environmental bad. That, that. Hearing stuff like that is why I will do it into infinity, friend. Thank you for saying something like that. Knowing that your day is a little bit better makes me so happy. Hi, bro. Sing. I wanna be the very best from Pokemon. I wanna be the very best that no one ever was. Down, 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 down. Do something, something is my real test. Do something, something, some. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, friend, but I tried, dude. Look up Metallica's version. What's happening to me right now? Something else. Good morning to the vaccine. Max Beans. So nice to have you here with me. I've been seeing tigers everywhere. There's so many tigers. See you. Sending love every single time, friend. Love to you. Maxine says, I met two of my spirit guides yesterday while talking with my psychic friend. I was in a fantastic session and he knew things that no one else would have seen or heard in my life. Hmm. I see a little river running into what looks like a tunnel or a cave, going through a mountainside, opening up to like a view. It's a lake, kind of mountainsides as well. Feel a sense of tranquility from you, Maxine. I'm happy that you had a good time with your psychic friend. Anything he taught you, I'm here to learn with you if you want to share. I have to go. Have a wonderful day, Miss Molly. I hope you have the bestest of estest of days. Thank you for joining me. Even sofa, sofa, sofa. Coming in with a schmecksy, schmecksy. You. No, you, schmecksy. Oh, you're enough. How about that sofa? How about that jumping? Jack Jumanji. Everything the light touches will one day be yours, Simba. Mm. What about that side in the shadows? No. We never go there, dude. But nah. And then of course, little kid self is like, yeah, that one place. There's like this infinity in every direction, And then that one place I'm not supposed to go. Starts eyeing that exact spot. Give yourself a sofa. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, friend. So much for the love. We're gonna be so freaking fine. Height, skin color, ethnicity, country of origins, body. We're gonna be fine. These things are not us. They're but the filters we experience through, and we're taking those filters away slowly but surely. And it's gonna be a lot of information. Thinking about Jovan right now. She's not here right now. She is on her adventures. So send if you have any left. Jovan some extra energy. She is of course and has of course enough, but it doesn't hurt to have some more. Sending Jovan the good vibes. A lot of information. So much. Imagine that. Imagine instead of us just interfacing with these devices of our meat sticks right now, we could do so directly with our brains, and we could do so directly with our brains towards other brains. Then suddenly, as we're all collectively thinking about Jovan and sending her love, that is an actual energy within this system of infinity legitimately sending her love, and she would actually get hit by that stuff like an energy drink or whatever. But would we want that? It depends. You can argue we already have that in low bandwidth. And all we're doing is using our low bandwidth information to make high bandwidth information. It's like we're refining the information, bringing information out of infinite noise, and you're constantly doing that. Maxine says, Melty, one of the spirit guides came to him and she knew about the hawks. She told him I found a hawk feather and I took it home and he described it to me. I found one on Monday and I brought it home. She told him that the day I found the feather and brought it home was the day I met her. Oh, so the spirit guide was the Hulk, or is the spirit guide like almost this entity within the infinity, and then her sending you that feather and you picking up that feather and bringing it into your home is you almost accepting her guidance. This is the way that I'm interpreting in this moment. I don't think I would want to read my neighbor's thoughts. You'd probably be thinking about how to put out the waffle maker that keeps catching on fire. Sofa, sofa, sofa. I completely agree with you. And I feel it's going to be in the same way where if you have your your neighbor's like contact information, you can decide to be like, "Oh, wait, neighbor, what's happening with your toaster, dude? I see this fire in your house." And he can be like, "Yeah, dude, can't figure out how to make it stop catching on fire." And in that way, you can open a dialogue, you can create like a channel through which you can communicate. It won't be, I don't think it would be feasible to have all channels open all the time, you know? And I feel, again, that's why one of the things that I want to do with this space is bring importance to meditation, exercise, you know, like these very personal, human type of things, you know, where you kind of unplug from all of these high bandwidth informational exchange systems and you just kind of interface with self, literally. And it's going to be a balance, sofa, 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 where I feel the thing that we're going to be powerful in is in working together in true collaboration, where we'll get to in a quite visceral and literal way think together about something. You know, we can pose problems, we can pitch a show idea, and then as we pitch the show idea, as we're all having collective ideas about it, we can mingle and melt those ideas together and create new tapestries, new beautiful mosaics of ideas that we wouldn't necessarily be able to get out in the same way if we were just trying to communicate back and forth in a low bandwidth level. Like words in the way that we're communicating right now, it can communicate a lot of visceral information, but it is technically low bandwidth. If you could compress the words and maybe some of the tonality information into bits, it's a very limited amount of bits versus the amount of is happening in your brain at all times. And it's going to be again in a collaboration in the same way where if you want to have a meeting with a bunch of friends, you like make a Zoom call or you find yourself in the same office space. And then because you're there and you're in the meeting, you get to collaborate in that way. So it's going to be the same thing with like the next generation of technology as well. It's not going to be a permanent thing. It's going to be a collaborative thing. And you can, if you want to, completely isolate yourself and just experience things for the self. And it's not going to be any less of an experience than any other of the experiences either. I just believe in cooperation and co-creation. But like literally kicking the dust of a dead horse at this point with saying that. I also added a few goodies with your shirt, Melty. Oh goodness, Maxine. I'm already looking forward to it. Your package came faster than any other package I've ever been sent. Interestingly enough, Maxine. It's just, you know, little spicy information there. The new DeLorean vehicle syncs up to your phone contact and will notify you when you're close by to people in your contact list. GPS, weird. I mean, sure, Sofa, it is weird, and yet it's going to create a whole new world of synchronicity and serendipity, you know, where now instead of me, like, let's say, you know, we live in a world of increased leisure, you know, where most of our day-to-day busy work is going to be taken care of by robotics, which will leave human beings a lot more leisure time and people wouldn't need to do anything if they don't want to. So the career of choice of the future is going to be, drum roll please, creators. People that create even more on top of the infinity that we have. That's going to be the only thing left to do, is to create things as a self in the world. And to kind of bring that to this experience of as the self in the world, let's say I want to go to the center of, town. And as I'm driving to the center of town, not really having any concrete plans for what I want to do there, my car lets me know that, hey, Maxine is just around the block. She's going on a walk or riding her, electric little vehicle, one wheel or EUC or scooter or bicycle or whatever. She's having a grand time. You can kind of, connect with her and it's like, hey, I'm like a block away. You want to meet up? And if she doesn't feel like she has the energy for it, she can be like, yeah, thank you, but I'm feeling a little bit more alone time right now. I'm like in a meditative state, and I can be like, sick. See you again next time. And then because she said no, now I get to connect with Jovan, for example, who was just, 3 blocks deeper into the city. And it's going to allow us even more opportunities to connect with one another. But it is going to be surreal feeling like we don't have privacy. And it's this joke basically. Like, how more private do you want to get? Like, we're all on the same earth, in infinite space. Like, everything that's always happening forever is all condensed into a infinitesimally small point on the entire planet. Or not the entire planet, in the entire universe. So, like, think about that. Literally, every embarrassing thing you've ever done in your entire existence happened in a point infinitely small in an infinitely wide universe, right? like what does privacy even mean when you conceptualize it in that context? I don't know if I'm being cynical. Am I being cynical? I just believe that we're not going to have to worry about crime. We're not going to have to worry about people doing things against their own best wishes or against the best wishes of humanity with the future we're heading into. And it will like definitely seem to some dystopian, but it's going to again be just what you tell yourself about it. What story are we going to tell ourselves about our reality? And realizing that as we tell that story, we change reality. Instead of convincing ourselves, telling ourselves that we're victims, we'll tell ourselves that we're ducks. Huh? How about that, Lime? Yeah, quack, quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quackity, quack, quack. Quackity, quack. Quack, 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 quack. Lime Gorilla. So much love to you, Fred. It's nice to have you here, man. Oh my goodness, yes, I feel the same way right now. I have the time to choose my journey, and sometimes I wonder if it'll be disappointed, and exhausted at the end of what I'm going to keep on meditating on it. Just keep showing up, Sena. That's the best thing that I can recommend. Is just keep showing up for that feeling, for that thought, and for what it is you're pondering, and then get better at whatever it is you're feeling into, and stick with it. Like, find something you love, stick with it, and do it every day. Even if it's only for a minute, even if you're only doing it in thought, right? Like, you're still rendering that reality, showing up for it. I definitely follow my passions and I take a risk and let the universe guide me. That's the way that it's been for me as well, Sena. That's what brought us to this little, like, literal moment. Joe has her 5K today, doesn't she? I do believe so, Shan. I do believe so. But I believe she's also going to be taking some time away from her phone for the whole day, and then she has to, like, write an essay about that stuff as well. So she's going to be in the experience of self, in physicality without distraction today. And I'm looking forward to that for her. Sena, it sounds like you love what you're doing and your path. It makes me happy to hear that, right? Embrace the unknown, Sena. I'm doing the same, friend. Totally leaving my phone at home if that comes about, lol. Savina, I hear you, friend. I hear you. We're already living in that reality, though. That's the trip. The integration and the realization of unity just isn't there. Where Google now officially like announced that they'll delete your location data if you visit an abortion center, just so that people can actually, get medical services without fearing for their life and their well-being afterwards, getting tracked by something. So Google is already, pretty much in your life, like we live in an age where every single one of us has a personal tracking device. That's already the age we live in. But to some, that might feel like a but if you really think about it, you are a divine being. Not only is this device going to serve you, as it already is, as you're using it to create something that is now a beautiful experience instead of a bad experience, right? Like you could, and I'm sorry if this triggers you, you could, if you wanted to, use this device to be watching like decapitations right now. That is a part of the internet. You can find that if you look for it. And out of the everything else you could be looking at, you're choosing to look at this. A stream today, for example, where we're talking about you being enough. Like that is what it's about. That is literally what it's about. That sure, there's this personal tracking device in our hand, whatever, and it's used in a way where the individual person has probably seen more advertisements than the collective humanity before us have as a collective, right? Like you as one person has probably seen more than all of humanity. That's probably like false information, but you see the point I'm trying to make, right? So, and again, that whole advertisement, that whole shtick is to again tell you that in one way or another, you are not enough. And that in order to be enough, you need to buy this product, you need to get this car, you need to have